Hey, collective. I am feeling cold to talk about abuse this morning. And I really think that I feel cold to talk about this because I've noticed that people have the wrong idea about abuse. Especially childhood abuse. It's like people have this preconceived notion about what abuse is, about what it looks like, what it sounds like. But a lot of these people are wrong. Abuse, it isn't always obvious. It isn't always loud and blatant. More often than not, it is quiet. It is hidden. It is carefully crafted into a secret. Right? And I say all of this because growing up, if an outsider looked at me and my life and my family, they probably had no idea. They probably had no idea about the hell that was going on inside of my home. And honestly, it's because there are abusers who are very intelligent with their abuse. And honestly, that is the story of me and my mother and my father. Again, like, outside appearances, they are not the whole story. I mean, growing up, we always had food. We always had plenty of food. We always had access to food. We weren't dirty. We didn't walk around with bruises on our faces. No. No, the abuse that went on inside of my home, it was quiet. It was carefully constructed to be hidden. And I really mean this. We always had enough. In fact, we had more than enough. Christmases, birthdays, holidays, they were done up really big. We never went without material things. But that is another common misconception. Money does not equate to love and affection, time and attention. It really doesn't. And I just understand that people listen to me talk and they have a hard time believing what I'm saying because of the way it looked. Because it looked like I was well taken care of. It looked like I had more than I needed. And again, with the material possessions, that's true. But that was also a part of the plan. If things look nice and neat and tidy from the outside, then chances are no one's going to ask any questions. But absolutely, I did get the hell beat out of me. There were bruises, there were marks, but they weren't where you could see them. My clothing covered them up. not to mention the psychological abuse, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse. I mean, I was talked to like I was a dog, like I was less than human. Every other day I was told I was stupid, slow, fat, ugly, wrong, bad, all of the things. We would have people come over to the house, and before they would show up, my mom would pick a fight with me, over nothing, get me worked up and crying hysterically, and then she would whisper to me whenever the people arrived, like they would be downstairs and we would be upstairs. She would whisper to me so hatefully, "If so-and-so wasn't here, I would beat you to death." And that is just an example of the psychological abuse. Like, she did all of that very methodically. She wanted for people to come over and see me, this hysterical mess, but they have no idea about the words that she spoke to me before they got there. And then there is the sexual abuse. Now, the sexual abuse, it was very, very well hidden. I myself didn't even start remembering it until probably 4 or 5 years ago. And anyone who is a victim of childhood sexual abuse, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, when you factor in hypnosis, black magic, drugs, and the fact that little children brains, it's a defense mechanism to act like the abuse didn't happen. It's like your brain tricks itself. It was very well hidden. I can't say that enough. But I guess I'm just saying all of this to say, do not discredit people who are brave enough to talk about the abuse that they've been through. Just because what they have been through doesn't look like the normal cookie cutter version of abuse, that doesn't make it not true. Again, there are some abusers who are smart enough to hide it, and they hide it very well. Just don't discredit people when they are brave enough to tell the truth. We should never do that.